republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence. I'd ask that you keep in your thoughts and prayers the brave servicemen and women serving our country, both here and abroad, as well as those in our town who are still fighting and helping fight the COVID-19 pandemic, particularly the first responders, our police and firefighters, as well as the rescue workers and our nurses and doctors at the hospitals. Thank you. Please be seated. Would the clerk call the roll?
Councilman Mineta.
Here.
Councilman Martinez.
Here.
Councilman Sweeney.
Here.
Councilman Gregory.
Here.
Supervisor Schaefer.
And I am here. So all are present. So just by way of information, if you're watching us on YouTube, our YouTube channel now, this broadcast is being broadcast today, November 4th, 2021 at 3:30 p.m. If you'd like, you can click on the link below the channel description, and that will take you to a way to get into the meeting room. If you want to address the board on any of the public hearings, there are 5 public hearings scheduled for this afternoon, or the agenda, or the open portion when you can address the board on matters concerning town government and town services. Same goes for those of you who are in attendance here personally. And if you're interested in addressing the board on any of the public hearings or the agenda or the open portion, you should fill out a card, and I can have someone walk around, and Asa, maybe you could pick up the cards, and just if anybody would like to address the board on any one of those 3 parts of the meeting, just fill out a card, and Asa will collect it and bring it back up to Jen, and then we'll call your name during the appropriate time of when you'd like to address the board. If you are watching this at a later time, you can still click on the link and send us an email message about any questions you might have about today's public hearings, today's agenda, or today's open portion, and we will have someone get back to you to respond to that as well. When residents here come forward, you come forward to the podium here and state your name and address for Jen's benefit. That way she can have that for the record, and we ask you to keep your comments to 3 minutes. If you're addressing us from YouTube, Patrick will get us the information and we'll be able to respond to that contemporaneously. So we'll go into today's public hearings. We have the first public hearing is a public hearing on the application of Larissa Fomacheva for the premises identified by Suffolk County Tax Map number 0100-205-4-80 located on the northeast corner of Sunrise Highway and 43rd Street, Lindenhurst. Mr. Glass.
Good evening, Mr. Supervisor, members of the board. Congratulations to those of you that have been recently elected. Condolences, I'm not sure which.
Yes.
We
My
thank
therapist
you.
says condolences.
We thank you for your service, though. So this is very briefly an application to rezone from B residence to EB business to add parking in connection with the conversion of an existing office for Dr. Fomacheva. She's a local practitioner. She plans on moving her medical office there. It was last a computer repair facility. The facility is, I think, most
We're very
know,
happy with this.
is in need of a reno. She plans on refurbishing the existing building, siding, windows, doors, roof if necessary, refurbish the existing lot. It's been fully vetted by planning. They still have a few comments we're addressing, but I think it would be a welcome change to see this site put to some utility again. There's no DOT issues that I'm aware of. It's an existing curb cut. There's a cross-access agreement for the other party that uses the curb. It's been in place for many years. It's Seward. Waste is by private car. Although it's medical use, all waste will be disposed of strictly in compliance with industry guidelines. There's no noise or odor issues typically associated with this kind of use. I think that it will have typical medical office hours. It's not a clinic. It's not a 24-hour use. And I think we're just about through the site plan issues with the planning board.
Great, thank you. Do we have any cards on this public hearing? No? Jen? And Patrick? No? Okay, so I'll take a motion to close and reserve by Councilman Mineta, second by Councilman Martinez. All those in favor? Opposed? Hearing is closed. Decision reserved. Second public hearing is public hearing to lift town board covenant restrictions for planning job 17-29MI. Just state your name and address.
Kelly Bennett, 1257 Udall Road, Bayshore, New York, 11706.
Okay, Ms. Bennett.
I'm actually here today on behalf of Miss Midge Levy. She operates Miss Midgie's Cuddle Corner, doing business as Miss Midgie's Preschool. I'm sure you're all very familiar with the property located at 155 Farmingdale Road. What brings us today in front of all of you, which it's very nice to see you all today in the afternoon. We have two previously imposed covenants and restrictions that were placed on the property somewhere in the mid-'80s. I believe the year was '87. And these two specific items were that the subject premises shall be utilized for office use only, and we were seeking to remove that language, as well as item number 4 was no dumpster shall be placed or rubbish and refused. So we're really right at that final place to get our planning board approval.
We appreciate all the work.
Yes, we've tried very hard, and Ms. Midgie did get her variance approval. She was before the board last year. That's good for 3 years, so that's what brings us here.
Great, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, do you have any cards on this, Patrick? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And Ms. Shaver, I did have an owner's endorsement to
You
represent.
can just hand that up.
Thank you so much.
Yep. And Jen will take that. Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too, thank you. I'll take a motion from Councilman Martinez, second by Councilman McSweeney to close and reserve. All those in favor? Opposed? Hearing is closed, the city reserve. Third public hearing is public hearing on a proposed local law to override the tax cap. Do you have any cards? Oh, this is open, okay, sorry. Seeing none, we have a motion from Councilman McSweeney, second by Councilman Gregory to close and reserve. All those in favor? Opposed? Hearing is closed, decision reserved. Fourth public hearing is public hearing on the preliminary budget for the town of Babylon for the year 2022. Don't have any cards, so I'll take a motion from Councilman Gregory, second by Councilman Mineta to close and reserve. All those in favor? Opposed? Hearing is closed, decision reserved. Fifth public hearing in reference to amendment chapter 48, the Babylon Town Code, Department of Civil Service, with regard to the powers of the personnel officer. Don't have any cards, so I'll take a motion from Councilman Mineta, second by Councilman Martinez to close and reserve. All those in favor? Opposed? Hearing is closed, decision reserved. That's it for the public hearings. These are all just open, right? Patrick, do you have anyone on the agenda? No. So I will go right into the agenda and call up Resolution 688.
I offer Resolution 688.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 689.
Offer Resolution 689.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 690.
I offer 690.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 691.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 692.
I offer 692.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 693.
Offer Resolution 693.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 694.
I offer 694.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 695.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 696.
I offer 696.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 697.
Offer Resolution 697.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 698.
I offer Resolution 698.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 699.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 700.
I offer 700.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 701.
Offer Resolution 701.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 702.
I offer 702.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 703.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 704.
I offer Resolution 704.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 705.
Offer Resolution 705.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 706.
I offer 706.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 707.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 708.
I move 708.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 709.
Offer Resolution 709.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 710.
I offer Resolution 710.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 711.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed, resolution is approved. Resolution 712.
I offer resolution 712.
Second.
All's in favor? Opposed, resolution is approved. Resolution 713.
Offer resolution 713.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, resolution is approved. Resolution 714.
I offer 714. Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, resolution is approved. Resolution 715.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All's in favor? Opposed, resolution is approved. Resolution 716.
I offer resolution 716.
Second.
All's in favor? Opposed, resolution is approved. Resolution 717.
Offer resolution 717.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, resolution is approved. Resolution 718.
I offer resolution 718. Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, resolution is approved. Resolution 719.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All's in favor? Opposed, resolution is approved. Resolution 720.
I offer 720.
Second.
Would the clerk call the roll?
Councilman Mineta,
Abstain.
Councilman Martinez.
Yes.
Councilman McSweeney,
Yes.
Councilman Gregory,
Yes.
Supervisor Shaver.
Yes, resolution is approved. 4 votes in favor, 1 abstention. Resolution 721.
Offer resolution 721.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, resolution is approved. Resolution 722.
I offer resolution 722. Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, resolution is approved. Resolution 723.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All's in favor? Opposed, resolution is approved. Resolution 724.
I offer 724.
Second.
All's in favor? Opposed, resolution is approved. Resolution 725.
Offer resolution 725.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, resolution is approved. I'll offer resolution 726.
Second.
Will the clerk call the roll?
Councilman Mineta,
No.
Councilman Martinez,
No.
Councilman McSweeney,
Yes.
Councilman Gregory,
Abstain.
Supervisor Shaver.
And I'll vote yes. Resolution does not pass. Hello.
727.
Yep. Oh. Resolution does not pass. 2 votes in favor, 2 votes against, and 1 abstention. So, right, so you want to come up, so we're at 727. Ma'am, you're here to address extending the,
For the American Wings.
right, so you're in the open portion. Yeah, I'll pull you up in the open portion. So resolution 727,
Motion to approve.
Second.
all those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 728,
I offer resolution 728.
Second.
all those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved on resolution 729.
Offer resolution 729.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Okay, that's it for the resolutions. We go to the open portion. Patrick, do you have anyone? Okay, so we're going to start with Robert, I guess it's Lutchen?
Yes.
Mr. Lutchen? Just come forward and just state your name and address for the record.
First name is Robert Lutchen. I live at 315 Brookside Court in Copiague.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
I saw on the news the other day that there is a new state law against loud exhaust systems. The first fine
For
is
the vehicles.
vehicles.
Yes.
The first fine is $50,
Mhm.
$100, I mean, for the driver in the shop. The second time is $1,000 for both. I would think with all those cars on the road, you must be able to have some control over that.
You mean in terms of the exhaust system?
Yes. I would think you'd be able to make a lot of money just pulling these people over the road and giving them the tickets.
Yep, this is new state law,
Yes.
so it would be enforced by the Suffolk Police Department
Yes.
or the Amityville Police Department.
Yes.
So, and I don't know if it goes into effect right away or maybe January 1, but we can,
It said,
right away.
yes.
I know it was just signed the other day, but we'll find out information about it and make sure that the police department knows about it, because we have a number of issues.
There's a lot of people complaining about how noisy it is, plus all the traffic on the road and speeding and everything else. I would think that would be a fast way of making a few dollars
Yes,
and getting these people trying to. And a lot of the exhaust systems, my neighbors have them, and they have remotes where they can turn them off.
off and on, right?
Yes.
Yes, so thank you for bringing that to our
Okay.
attention. Okay, the next speaker is John Favola. Hello, John. Just state your name and address.
John Frivola, 270 West Riviera Drive, Lindenhurst. The Venice Water Properties.
Yes.
All right. Here we go. All right, I'm part of the board on the Civic Association. We had many Zoom meetings during the winter, Rich, you, and I don't know who else was there, but
It was town board
it was
meetings,
the
yes.
town board, yeah. All right, we went over our concerns from our neighbors. The neighbors would complain to the Civic Association about the boats that have been laying up on the properties for like 20 years, a lot of debris, and other, there's a lot of stuff on the waterfront properties. So that was our main beef with you. And then all of a sudden, you guys come out with these laws that we gotta have underwriters for the electric, you want permits for the fence. Now I hear that the people that have Nicolak patios, they gotta get permits for that. All of a sudden, we're coming up with all these laws. I don't understand why we gotta do that. I thought we were gonna be grandfathered in, because I think Kathy has it on the minutes that a lot of the stuff was gonna be grandfathered. Nothing was grandfathered. Another topic is, our neighbors are calling the building department, and they're saying that the Civic wanted it. We didn't want it. If you guys did your job and went around and with the derelict boats and the debris, we would have never got involved in it. So we're trying to clean up the area, and now we're getting punished. What else? This past weekend, we had the high tides. Nothing to do with the waterfront properties. There was like maybe 3-4 inches of water in the streets. Me and my wife were walking to the cars because we had them parked up, and cars are coming down really fast. We had boots on. We're going out to eat. I'm yelling at people. Guys, we're gonna get into a fight. So the next time we have high tides, can the town put the barricades down by my property? I'll put them out when the tide's up, and I'll take them in when the tide's out to slow these people down. They come down. Kathy's has a retaining wall in front of her house. That got knocked down by the water. I have another neighbor, the water came in through the garage. And it's just, it's uncontrollable. These people come down sightseeing, and they're just throwing away. Tony had what was it, Amazon dropped off something for you? Threw it on the driveway, a truck coming by, threw away, and it floated down the street. So it's getting really crazy down here. What else? Oh, the 311, your 311 department? All right, about a month ago, I called, because somebody called me about the boats. I said, call 311, they didn't get anywhere. So I called as a Civic. I left it, I don't know who I was talking to, and she said she'd take care of it. She took my name, she said she'd get back, I never did. A week later, I called, she said, nobody ever called us. I must flipped out. What else? That's about it. I can keep going and going, Rich. And
So let me just, John, in terms of the barricades, if you could send me an email with your address, and then I'll send it over to Public Works.
all right, we only need it when we have these northeasters.
Yeah, but
And
just,
I'll put them out just to slow the people down. My son lives in the village of Amityville, and they do it automatically.
but just if you send me an
All
email
right,
with
yep,
your address,
I
and then
definitely will.
we'll work it out through
All right.
Public Works.
And I'll take them in as soon as the tide goes away.
And anybody else who's in that similar position,
All right,
be happy to do that. Let me just also say, and Kathy and I spoke yesterday by text, not spoke verbally, that I told her I would offer a public apology for the staff member who said that it was the Civic that did it. I want to make it clear,
all right.
and I know there are a number of residents here, it wasn't the Civic that did it, it was the town board. The Civic doesn't have any authority
Right.
to do that kind of code change. So anybody who says that it was the Civic is speaking out of turn, and I apologize for that, and I told Kathy that yesterday. The other thing, in terms of what is been asked of the property owners, right now, we've asked the town attorney to research whether or not we can grandfather in any of these improvements that were made. See, the history of this is that these parcels were pretty much never categorized as anything. And over the years, they were, I guess, when the development was first built, meant to be there for the homeowners who had boats and activities there. Over the years, it just became something that just continued and continued. One of the problems that we have when we went to go and quote unquote clean up the bad properties, anything we wrote, if we wrote a summons, and we have a couple of people who are telling us to go, you know what,
Oh, I
ourselves.
still hear them down.
Well, no, these are people who don't want to clean up.
I know. I
Right,
know.
so in order to accomplish what you want, we would have to write a summons, and a smart person who wants to bust chops would go to an attorney who would then go into court and have the summons dismissed because we didn't have our act together in terms of how the properties are categorized, what are the codes governing the properties. So we gave our best shot over the winter, like you said, on the Zoom, several public hearings where we said, let's figure out how to do this with the least amount of disruption to the current property owners. So clearly, that's not been the case, which is why, and Kathy is my texting buddy, although she did save me yesterday because my trainer had me on the bicycle. And I said, this is an emergency, I gotta go. And I showed him Kathy's text, and you got me out another 10 minutes of cardio. So I will tell you that we're having them research that now. So what we're going to do is send out a
Another letter.
notice. Yes, we've sent out probably five
I
letters
know.
at this point.
Spent a
But
lot of
guess
money on
what?
letters.
We're trying to get this right.
Okay.
Okay, nobody's looking to torture anybody. You think I want to be talking to everybody about this? I'd rather be talking to you about what are you going to do for Thanksgiving, since it's the first Thanksgiving in 2 years that we can all go hunt and do whatever we want to do, right? So we're going to send another letter out. We're going to tell you that everything is on hold right now. We're going to let them do their research, figure out what needs to be done. Because what I don't want to have happen is if Tony calls me or Kathy calls me and says, what about this parcel? And I don't have anything to back it up, where I know if we write a summons and just tell you we wrote a summons, someone can get it dismissed in court. And that's not what you want.
Right.
We want all of the people who don't take care of their properties to be held accountable. We want all the people who've improved them with nice blocks and little gazebo or a little shed that make the area look good, right?
Right.
We want them to just be left alone.
Right.
So to answer your final question, which was 311.
Right.
311 is great, but one of the things we've all prided ourselves on is making our personal contact information available. So if you go to the town website, you'll find my home number, although I'm getting rid of it because I'm sick of Optimum next month. I'm sick of paying $250 for nothing. I don't watch TV, so. But my home number's there, my cell, and my direct office number, as well as my personal email, which is rich.suffolk@gmail, or my town email, which usually ends up in spam somewhere. So use my personal email. And you can communicate directly. So if you're not getting an answer from 311,
I won't call them anymore, I'll call you.
call me. And you and I have spoken a bunch of
Yeah,
times.
right.
So you can call me anytime. It's been ringing since we're here, with
Yeah.
people calling and,
Yeah.
texting, whatever. Get back to you, let you know where we're at. And so do the others.
Okay.
Do the same thing. So if you have an issue like that in the future.
Well, we have the neighbors calling us, because we're going to
Yep,
say
and I
something.
told Kathy, and she put a nice little posting and little flyer on the Facebook and stuff. And I have people that communicate with me through the Facebook too. They send me little messages and stuff. So just know that we're going to put this on hold. We're researching that. And researching means, and it's not like he can go and like open a book and there's the answer. What we've told him is you have to have the authority to be able to get the people who don't want to listen. Meaning, give us what we need to be able to write a summons that's going to be held up in court, not be dismissed. Because otherwise, we're just telling you guys, oh yeah, we're after we're going to get after them. And we could say, oh, here's a copy of the summons, and then 2 months later it gets dismissed because the judge says, no, you don't have the authority.
Most of those people don't even live in the area.
Correct. No, it's the people who live in the area who take care of it.
Yeah.
And we want to
Not- yeah.
we want to support what's his name, Sal, right? Is it Angelo?
Oh, okay, yeah.
At the corner.
At the corner,
Who took and cleaned up that
yeah,
disaster
right.
from the old family that was
Right.
there. And if you look on the agenda today, we just awarded the RFP for the engineer that's gonna be meeting with you for the new bulkheading, gazebo, dredging, and shoreline stabilization at Rialto Island Grand Canal. So that's the restoration work we're gonna be doing with the Civic. So that's the new gazebo to be recreated at the
On the circle.
mouth of the canal,
Yeah.
which was there for years, and the stabilization on the shore, on the sides, and the dredging work that needs to be done. So that was,
Okay.
the engineer was just selected and awarded by this town board
Okay,
during the agenda portion, and they'll be meeting with the Civic to go over what they want to, what you guys want to see happen, and what it should look like, and all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
So the commitment is there, but right now, we'll put a notice out that this is on hold until we have them do the research, and then we'll re-notify everybody as to how to proceed.
all right,
Okay?
okay, thank you.
Thank you, John. I know that was a little bit longer than 3 minutes, but I think it gave information to anyone who had questions about this today. And I'm assuming you're all American Venice.
Yes.
All
A
right,
lot of
is
us
it-
live in front of our lots too.
I'm sorry?
A lot of us live in front of our lots too, which this is why it's.
Yeah, just,
Paul, yeah, text me as well.
oh, Paul.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. Paul, what's your last name again?
we
Wyndham, right.
dealt with my father-in-law.
Yes, thank you. All right, let me see if anyone else wants to speak here. Anthony Servillo?
Anthony Saravillo,
Anthony.
74 West Riviera Drive,
Yep.
Monroe, New York. Just a quick point.
Just speak up a little so they.
I built my house in 2008, and I have a 60 by 100 lot plus the house. I had to put 5 dry wells in, because none of the gutters,
You had to put what?
5 dry wells,
Okay,
which were put underwater,
okay.
town code. And when I questioned it, oh, that's the code, you have to do it. I said, well, what about the neighbors? Well, we grandfathered them in.
Mhm.
No problem, it was grandfathered in.
Mhm.
Now, they're building a couple of new houses around the block, they had to put dry wells in.
Mhm.
They're putting them underwater.
Mhm.
Now, I went down to town hall, I spoke to Kate. Just real quick, on properties. They want, for a gazebo, for a pergola, they want a detailed drawing to scale, 1/4 inch.
Mhm.
How do you draw a floor plan for a pergola? Also, she mentioned somebody had pavers,
Mhm.
and they have to go for a variance or pull them up.
Mhm.
But he put in drainage, and she actually said to me, well, that doesn't work. I just wanted that said, that it's okay for you to dictate us, you have to put in, but yet when we do it to protect, it's no good. And I know you just yesing me to death, but that's fine also.
No, I'm not yesing you to death.
I just
Anthony,
feel,
why would you say that?
because this
You
way
and
you
I,
want-
I'm saying, I'm agreeing with you when you're saying.
all right, I just thought you were being a little, kidding me. Also,
No, you're the only one that does that.
no. Also.
You're the only one that scooches.
Also, Kate actually drove to my house after I dropped off a 2008 survey showing everything on there.
Mhm.
And is that normal protocol?
To drive to your house?
Yes, to look at the lot. And I was told I needed an updated survey because I had some
But
stone.
everything she's told you doesn't matter.
I know, I just got that now. I just
Yeah.
wanted to bring that,
I
just the
mean,
dry
and if
wells.
she drove there, I mean, yes, she does go out on inspections. She's our plans examiner,
Oh,
so.
no, I understand that.
Yeah.
This was, I dropped the survey off
Mhm.
because you and I talked and it's fine. Liz White told me
Mhm.
just a piece of paper was fine.
Yeah.
And Rich Brook. Then all of a sudden you need updated surveys. I know everything's on hold.
Mhm.
But this is where we were. And when I explained that to Kate, she said, I didn't get any of that.
Well, she's retiring in December, so,
So that's it.
okay?
And that's about it. Okay.
Thanks, Anthony. All right, Kathy Gullo.
Hi, gang, I'm Kathy Gullo, 290 West Riviera Drive, Lindenhurst. I turned the lights off.
I was gonna say, someone must have hit them. That's okay, go ahead, Kathy.
I want to thank you for putting all this on hold, and I appreciate the public apology and the statement saying that the Venice did not push for this.
Well, the Civic
I mean,
Association.
that's what I meant.
Yep.
What did I say, the Venice
Yep.
Association, yeah. When you send out this new letter, it will say for everybody not to do anything, don't
Correct.
spend money, don't look for documents.
Correct,
Stop.
until you get the next
Until you get the
communication.
next communication, okay, because I'm gonna post that on the Facebook page.
Yes, you can
okay?
do that,
I always check
Yep.
before I post.
always, yeah, thank you.
Yes, yes, and so that's all great. The one thing that really bothered me about the documents saying that we needed a survey was the postcard that everyone got in the mail.
What is that?
It's a postcard from the Scalise, it was sent out, bulk mail,
Uh-huh,
and it said they joined forces with the American Venice Civic Association to have all our surveys
we
done
have
at
partnered
once.
with American Venice?
Yeah, which no one gave them permission to write that,
Yeah,
and that was sent to our house days before we even knew we had to do it.
yeah, I'll
So
ask,
somebody in the town must have said, hey, I got some good jobs for you.
yeah, well, they must have, but, yeah, it's public information, but Joe, could you investigate this? I'd like to know where they got that information from.
That's what also put a target on our back, saying that
Put
we,
what?
put a target on the Venice's Civic Association's back.
Well, if you read it, they wrote it cutely.
I know, but they sent us a Facebook post before we got that, before we even knew about the letters coming
Scalise
out.
sent you a Facebook post?
Yep,
And
and
what it
asked
is?
if we were interested in dealing with them, and I never answered them. I'm the one that answers, and I never answered them.
So wait, let me just make sure I understand. Scalise contacted the Civic through Facebook?
Through our instant message through our
Can you
Facebook.
send us a copy of
I
that?
looked for it today, I must have deleted it because I was mad at them.
Never delete.
I never delete. I hardly ever delete. I can't believe it. It's
So
deleted.
you don't have any
I
record?
looked, and I'll still look.
Could you?
I am going to keep on looking.
Why don't
But
you?
that actually
wait,
hit,
why don't you do this? Why don't you just respond to them and say, oh, I can't find your message. Could you tell us how you,
came about.
yeah,
I'm
could you
fine.
get that and send that to me?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I will, definitely
Thanks.
will. So that's that, and let's see, the building department telling us that the Civic was involved, but you took care of that.
Yes,
The grandfathering, you took care of that.
yep.
So basically, oh, I just wanted to talk about the raising of the roads
Mhm.
project that we're
Yep.
doing, and we have helped, as the Civic Association has helped gather signatures.
Yeah, John's been great.
Yeah, and we're, as far as we know, we're down to 3
Yep, so,
naysayers.
yep, so Tom and I are gonna talk, later this week. Tom Stay is our DPW commissioner. So I believe we'll have a solution to that.
Yeah,
And, we'll be ready to go.
great. 'Cause-
So just so you, for those of you who don't know, this involves West Lido, from
Minerva,
Minerva,
and then up West Riviera to Seacrest.
Westwood, right, so, and we need sign-offs from the property owners along that route in order to be able to proceed. So we have 3 people, 5?
That's 5?
Yeah, I was gonna email you John's latest notes that he sent me the other day.
Okay, I thought it
and,
was 3.
We're gonna meet with the lawyers to see exactly, because
How
I
it could
don't wanna
proceed.
be held up by 3 people. And I don't wanna say anybody's reason is nonsensical, but they're close to nonsensical, and
I agree.
we gotta get moving. We can't,
Right.
because we're using this as, because we've got people in Fred Shores, we've got people in Amity Harbor, we're using this as kind of the prototype
Mhm.
for how to proceed with all the other work we want to do in various areas like
Right, because after us, you're gonna jump to the east
East
side.
Venice.
Yeah,
Right, but then we have Fred Shores, I'm dealing with some people on Pershing and those streets over there, so we are using this project as the prototype for all the others.
excellent. And then the last thing I want to say is thank you for the voting on the designer for the circle and the bulkheading. We're very excited about that
So they're the
project.
same engineers that did the bridges, right? LK, is it LKB? McLean, I'm sorry. Is it, they did the bridges?
No, they're doing the West Lido and.
Oh, I thought, oh, they're doing the West Lido stuff. I'm sorry, I knew they were involved some way. So we're gonna have them meet with you to get all of your input as
Excellent.
they start the process.
That's it.
Good, thank you, Kathy.
Have a great day.
You too. Barbara Sereni? Screening.
Were you coming around last week with the floods?
I'm sorry, Barbara, could you just so I can have you make sure that picks you up on the, and your address is 234 West Riviera
Yeah,
in Lindenhurst?
yeah, you were the one coming around with the floods?
Me?
Yeah.
Like, you mean driving around?
No, yeah, walking around to all the properties?
Oh, no, that was Rich Crow.
Oh, okay.
Did you talk to him? He said he met a nice woman.
That was my sister,
Oh, that was your sister?
my identical twin.
I said, did she ask you for a date? No.
She, well, no,
He did
because
say he met a nice woman then.
that was my twin sister.
Okay.
Anyway, we're asking about being the grandfathered in.
Yes, yep, so Rich Grow is in environmental, so he worked on the actual drafting of the code, but it's the attorney that's gonna research the grandfather.
Oh, so that's on hold, like,
Correct, so as I just explained, everything's on hold until we get that research back.
that works.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Terrence Hurton?
How you doing?
Hey, how are you, Tim?
Good. I live down,
And you're 15 East Beach Prom,
right.
Lindenhurst?
Yeah, we've been waiting 30 years to have the roads, something done with the roads down there. I mean, it's a long time since Hurricane Sandy where we happened to lose our house and a lot of people lost their house and everybody knows that whole deal. But why is it taking so long to address the issue of the roads down there? I saw in this new letter that you had about the money for reimbursing people for the surveys and all that. Why don't they use that money to fix the roads and raise the roads?
So that money is about $58,000 that wouldn't get you a storm drain. So what we're doing
But
is,
I don't know if you know how bad it was. Last week for 5 days, we couldn't really
Yeah.
leave or come out of our house.
Mhm.
For 5 days, and this has been going on for 30 years since I've been there, for 30 years.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really, it's not right.
Yep. So that's why we're doing this.
And I think you have a sincere effort to do things, but
Yeah.
it's been a long, long time, and we keep hearing the west side's gonna get, the west always seems to get everything first, I don't know why, but the west side's getting it. Then we're gonna look at other areas, Amityville or Shore Drive or whatever you said, but again, the east side doesn't seem to ever get any.
Well, no, the east is after the west, but there are other areas.
What does that mean after though? Does
So
it
I'm
mean
gonna,
2022,
so is this
2023?
your email address? THIRTENB@yahoo.com?
Yes.
So I'll have Tom Stay send you the full explanation instead of me trying to remember all the details from the emails, and he'll email it over to you at this email address. Okay?
So the other issue is they pulled out at the end of the canal, they pulled out a lot of the boards that were in there.
Yep.
And they only pulled out half of them, and the other ones are like 2 or 3 feet up, and you can only see that low tide.
Yeah, they'll be doing that as part of this
Right, but
project.
How did that guy get paid for doing that type of job too?
I'm sorry?
Without money.
Yeah, it's paid through.
That guy should not, he should be taken to court and get that money back, that whatever you paid him, because he didn't do the job. He just
Okay.
did whatever you could see.
Boats are getting hung up on it. And if I did it, I'd be fined for it.
Okay, so I'll
No, I mean,
it's
it's
the
a-
first I'm hearing of it, so.
Yeah, no, it's a real issue. I have pictures of it
Yeah,
at low tide that of the, all the ones. So it created a real danger. The other ones, at least you saw all the time.
Mhm.
So whatever that guy did, he scammed the town of Babylon. And
Yeah, I'll look into it.
yeah. And like I say, if you need pictures, I have pictures of it at low tide.
I'll ask Timmy Taylor to get in touch with you. It's, is that your cell's number on
Yeah,
there?
it's my
Okay.
son.
Good, and I'll ask him to get the information.
Okay, thank you. And I appreciate, Like I say, hopefully something can get done.
Yeah, we'll get you that information through Public
Okay,
Works.
thank you.
Thank you. Kenneth Rubin? Good afternoon, you're 10 East Santa Barbara Road in
Correct.
Lindenhurst?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I just wanted to voice my concern as far as the flooding on East Santa Barbara. It's not 2 inches, it's about 2 feet to 3 feet. There's one drainage pipe that flows the rainwater into the bay. However, when the bay rises above the pipe, it flows back onto the street, and it's flooding millions and millions of dollars worth of homes. I'm new to the area and pretty disappointed that I put in this type of money, and this is my results. I believe I checked with some people that if the remedy for something like that would be a check valve. If there's no funds for that, I think I could generate the funds for that through the neighborhood. So if we could maybe get somebody out to look at it.
Yeah, what I'll do is Tom Stay, who's our DPW commissioner, he could speak after the meeting, and I'll have him and Frank Marone, who's our engineer, they can meet out there with you to take a look at it.
Great.
Okay?
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, did anybody else have any cards that they filled out? That one. Okay. Great. Sure. Just if you could come forward just so she gets it on the record. And just what's your name?
Jim Roth.
Jim Roth?
Yeah.
And what's your address?
183 Waldo.
Waldo, okay. In Copiague?
Copiague, yeah.
Yeah. Want to take a picture? Oh, yeah, could you?
Talking about the electric and all the stuff on the properties.
Yep.
We still go ahead with getting the electric inspector and all that stuff?
No, put everything on hold.
I already hired the electrician to come do all this now.
Okay, you hired him already?
Yeah.
You paid him?
No, he's coming to make sure everything's up to speed before.
Yeah, why don't you ask him to hold off on that?
I'm gonna have him come to the property, just check, make sure it's up to speed anyway.
Oh, if you're doing that on your own,
Yeah,
that's
I'm doing
fine.
that on my own, but I want to know, should I get the survey at the same time while he's there?
No, just, what do you mean survey?
What,
Oh, you mean have the electrical guy do the survey? Oh, you mean the underwriter certificate?
Right.
Yeah, well, he's coming to check it for you.
He's gonna check it if it all passes, or he's.
He'll issue you the certificate, but you're doing that on your own.
Right, well, they say in the letter, I have until December 20th to get it done, otherwise.
No, forget that. Forget any of that, it's on hold. So I would suggest, unless you want to check your electric on your own, I would suggest that you put that off.
Okay.
Until you hear back from us.
And another thing about the decking over there. I had to take my catwalk, the walkway out because it was falling apart, and I don't want anybody to get hurt on it.
Okay.
So now what's the deal for me to replace it now? I was told I have to get permits for this?
No. Right, if you're gonna do that right now?
Yeah, I have to get it done before the winter.
Yeah, you could do that.
But, it was all rotted, I took it out, I just wanted to replace it, but the thing says now, you only got 4 feet, so why was 5 feet?
No, do me a favor, if you took out the old stuff already?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can replace the old stuff.
Okay.
Okay?
Because I'm trying to, I gotta admit, some of these properties down there, these people do some really nice jobs down there.
Yes, they do.
And, to me, everybody down there, I think, just
Well,
wants
it's
to.
like any neighborhood, right? If you drive through any
Right.
neighborhood.
And I believe the derelict boats, and Miss John Farrell, because he used to take care of all the kind of stuff. And it was like, the guy that has our laws down, he's been there for like 30, 40 years that I know, it's been sitting there. Now they put a telephone pole in front of it that they can't get it out.
Right.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
So look, this occurred over how many years? It's not gonna be all dealt with. Yeah, so we're working on it, but I would put off the electrical if you don't want to get the electrical for yourself.
Okay, now I'm gonna get it.
And you can replace the boards if you've taken out the rotted stuff or the,
Right, yeah. So that, because my deck is a little low, I'm not.
Yeah, because it's starting to get cold, so.
Well, but I'm raising mine up about 6 inches because high tide,
Yep.
I'm underwater.
Yep, you're fine.
All right.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So we could replace anything.
Barbara, so just, again, I gotta get you on, right, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. So you can replace
Anything that's damaged and we're okay with doing that, or we have to wait?
So no, if you've ripped out, he just said he's already ripped out what he had
But
there.
we're in the process of ripping something out.
So then if you're in the process of ripping something out, then you're fine,
Okay,
okay? Yes. And just,
Yes.
just state your name and address.
Mike Brickadella, 294 West Riviera Drive.
Thank you,
I
Mike.
texted you the other night.
Yep.
I wanted to know, I'm a little deaf.
Oh, okay.
And I got here a little bit late.
Sure.
But I wanted to address the beach at the end of East Riviera.
Mm-hmm.
Is that part of the plan?
Yes.
We're lifting it, and I heard maybe a kayak ramp, or you were gonna clean that up?
Well, we're gonna have, the engineer's gonna meet with the Civic and any residents that wanna participate and go over what you'd like there.
Okay,
And then they're gonna come up with the scope.
all right, great.
And then, based on the input,
And my final question is, the 3 families or 5 families that are holding out on us getting our roads fixed, I've been in the water 5 days as well. And I just think, well, I'm sorry I have to say it, they're being a little selfish, because either they don't flood, either they're renting their house. I don't know what the reason is, but to benefit everybody else in the community, I think, I don't know if anyone's here of the 5 people, but I think they're being a little selfish, and I'm sorry to say it in front of the board, because it's for our community, and help the neighbors out that need the help, that are underwater.
and that's why we're gonna go over how
Yeah.
to get that.
And is that the reason why East Side is not being done first, or that was never in the plan?
No, it was always to do the west side based on the information that Tom's
Okay.
gonna send Mr. Hurt.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And thanks for your quick response.
You're welcome. Thank you. Sir, just.
Hi, my name is Anthony Belfiore. I live at 92 West Lido Prom.
92?
92 West Lido Prom.
Okay.
And I don't know if this is something to be brought up here, but past 2 years, I was reassessed on my property tax. And the first time, it was saying that there was a boardwalk that was never assessed. The boardwalk's been there since I bought the house. I bought the house in 2007. I don't know how many years before that it was there. Then they also said, not for this tax year, and that went up about 200, that value was about $284. Plus what normally is raised, about $300 per year. This year, the worst. I have a raised deck on the house.
Oh, is this on the house or the parcel?
On the house.
On the house, okay.
Yeah. And
Was the first one on the boardwalk was on the?
on my dock, my
On the
bulkhead.
dock parcel?
Yeah.
Yep, okay. I'm sorry.
They said it was never
Right,
there.
so that, and now you're talking about your house.
Now, yeah, well, I'm on the water, so.
Right.
Yeah, and so now they reassessed me again and saying that there was a raised deck and the front stoop went from 4'6" to 7'7". And I'm like, I never touched these things. These things were here for probably 20,
Yeah,
30
we
years.
can take a look at that. If you give us a copy, Kev, are we able to copy things here? And is that office still open?
And let me just tell you the value, I'm sorry, let me
Yeah,
just
sure.
tell you the value of that increase. That was $2,050 increase.
That's for the
Because of the
assessment.
raised deck, yeah, the
Right,
raised
not the
deck,
dollar amount, but the value
no, the dollar amount.
was 2,000.
Yeah, well, I called to find out what does it mean to me?
What did it say the assessment went from?
Well, I mean, they send you this thing, it says it goes raised.
Can I see it?
This to that, with no explanation every time.
Yep, let me just see it.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
That was the second one that I called to find out what does it mean to me dollar-wise? And they
Right.
told me it's gonna be about $2,000 increase
Well, this,
on dollar-wise.
yeah, this says that, I don't think that's the case because this says that the assessed value only went up by 130 from 3710 to 3840. And this is for the 21-22 year. And you got this back in February, right? So we'll check this out and get back to you and find out.
This was the other one.
This is for the deeded parcel?
No, so it's all on my property. I have the, I'm
you're
on the water.
Okay, got it. Okay, so this says that they reduced it. Wait, from 36 to, oh, is that a 3? Oh, 371, okay. So, yeah, so let's make copies of these, and if you, do we have your phone number?
Sure.
What is it?
631-805-4789.
Okay.
I mean, for something that I didn't, and I've been improving my property, for.
Yeah, we'll find out what that's about, and then we'll get back to you.
Okay.
But we'll give you these back, Tony's gonna take a picture.
Okay, good, thank you.
I forget the camera can take the picture.
Yeah, these are things that I think, should have been grandfathered. I don't know why they're all of a sudden being brought up.
Yeah, we'll have to look into your specific location.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else? Sir?
My name is Thomas Lane, I live at 10 Bay Place.
Lane?
Lane.
Okay. And that's
I
in
live
Lindenhurst?
between, yes, I live between Venetian and Granada.
Okay.
Now back after Sandy.
Oh, you're in Venetian Shores?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Right after Sandy, when they removed those houses on the east side of Bay Place there on the Venetian Road, all the bulkheading and everything that was there also came out. Now that there's no bulkheading, every time there's a storm, the wind blows the water up over that piece of property right onto the land.
Got it.
And it's a constant thing. It's not just when we, have a nor'easter, it's regularly.
Yeah. Were those properties taken through the state program?
Yes.
Okay. Tom, you're familiar with them?
Yeah, there were 2 or 3 houses right at the end of that block right there that were
Yes.
removed it completely, but they never did anything. I mean, if anything else, you could put a berm or something in there to stop the water from coming in.
Yeah, well, let's have Brian Zatani and Joe. Tom, if you could give Tom your contact info. Tom is the guy with the beard, like you.
Okay.
Not yours is a little better than yours.
A little more rugged.
You got it. Yeah, Tom's not rugged. That's what Christine says, right, Tom? If you could give him your contact, and then we have Brian Zatani and Joe Guarino. They're in our environmental control department. They do our waterways management, so they'll be able to tell us what DEC would or would not allow us to do there without getting hammered. So,
all right,
if you could do that, that'd be great. Thank you. Anybody else?
Yeah, one quick question.
Sir, sure, and just state your name and address.
My name is Robert Havara. I live at 52 Halley Road.
I spoke to you on the phone. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, now I understand.
What, say the address again?
52 Hallie-Con Road.
Hallie-Con, right.
Now, as far as the waterfront properties, I understand it's a moot point right now. But what is the reason behind an underwriter certificate? No utility company would hook up any electric without having an underwriter certificate. Why go after all these certificates now?
So we're asking PSC&G to provide us with information that they have, and they haven't gotten us that yet, so we're waiting for that.
As per our conversation.
Yep.
If they want underwriter certificate for all these properties, why doesn't the town as an entity hire an underwriter to do all the properties instead of reimbursing us, okay? And as I said to you before, code has changed since I put my electric in 37 years ago, which is gonna have to be upgraded. So why not does the town hire an electrician to do all the upgrades? It would be cheaper as a single unit.
So I asked that same question, and because it's being done for private property, we could only, under the federal regulations, reimburse you as opposed to us doing it on private property.
But don't you agree it would be more expensive?
Of course. I said, why can't we get a bulk? Yeah, well, it's the federal government.
Okay.
That should answer your question. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am? And just state your name and address.
Of course. Hello, good afternoon. My name is Dorothy Hill. I actually cannot disclose my address because I'm a survivor of domestic violence and it's protected by the court.
I'm sorry. Okay.
So I just have 3 quick questions, if you don't mind. Number 1, for the town of Babylon, will you plan to have more meetings in the evening? because it's very difficult for people to leave work. I left work a little early, but I'm going to go back. So that's one request, evening meetings. I lived in the town of North Hempstead, and it was quite common to have meetings in the evening. That's number one. Number two, the situation going on right now in the town of Babylon High School, whereby there was a separation agreement of the male teacher for sexual assault of at least one student.
Oh, Babylon Village.
Right, that's it, right. So is that, is this do you consider this to be a community safety issue such that if that male teacher resides in the town of Babylon, people should be informed, despite the fact that it's an ongoing investigation by Suffolk County Police Department?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And then the third question just pertains to the election for town clerk. I read on Newsday that there were, as of yesterday, 1,789 votes yet to be counted. I believe there's a state law whereby there's a certain period of time that decision needs to be rendered. When do you expect that the town clerk decision will be
Probably
made?
by the end of next week. The Board of Elections informed us that they're going to start their recount on Tuesday, and it should take them a couple of days.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Sure. Add up here.
On the electrical inspection, I spoke.
This is Anthony Cervello.
I spoke to a couple of underwriters. They can't force you to do an upgrade. The inspection is when the unit was installed. So it was installed in 1960, whatever the code was. So if anybody's worried about, unless there's a dangerous violation, then it's a violation.
Okay, that's
Then
very
that
good
gentleman's worried
information.
about that.
Right, thank you.
And I do root for the Mets.
You do what?
Oh, I do root for the Mets also.
Well, I root for the Red Sox. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no wonder why we're having issues.
That's it. But that's what my therapist says, Barbara. Anyone else? No? Okay, great. So we don't have any, and Patrick, do you have anyone online? All right. So I'll take a motion to adjourn by Councilman McSweeney, second by Councilman Gregory. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.